Columbia University president ordering virtual classes as anti-Israel, pro-Hamas protests take over. Quote, we need a reset. We're joined this morning by political analyst and commentator from Young Voices, Isaac Willour. Good morning, Isaac. How are you?
Doing all right, man. How are you?
Well, I just kind of, every morning I wake up and I look at the news cycle and I realize what kind of world of dumbassery that we're living in. And it's nothing shy of it this morning, that's for sure.
Yeah, it's funny. When President Shafiq puts out this statement, we need to reset. I'm like, I actually kind of see, not that kind of reset. Okay, whatever. Yeah. So, this Columbia situation, it's revealing one thing about America's elite universities that's decidedly not elite, which is their ability to maintain control of their own campus. So before classes have gone virtual now at Columbia as of a couple hours ago. They've gone virtual until the end of the semester, right? So this is like COVID-era policy stuff, which as someone who came into college during COVID, I'm decidedly just not thrilled about, but whatever. President Shafiq, so a day before, she puts out this statement, right, about the protest. She says she is deeply saddened by these certain actions of agitators and by what is happening, and it's going to take a lot of time to whatever, blah, blah, blah. I need you to be more than deeply saddened, right?
Right.
Like, this is your university's seriousness and legitimacy are being threatened by the most ridiculous kind of activism, to the point that protesters are made a tent city on your premises,
right,
and are creating an environment that's so hostile that Jewish professors feel unsafe to come to their place of employment. This is more than deeply sad, right? This is we might be witnessing, we can hope, we might be witnessing the fall of the Ivies, at least in the court of public opinion. Because, seriously, tell me honestly here, if you're watching this go down in Columbia, you're watching people getting pulled off the green at Yale for trespassing because something from the river to the sea, are you even thinking for a minute about sending your kid there? No.
Right, and no less your money.
Maybe, right, yeah. Go to some place that, especially if you're conservative, especially if you're Jewish. Oh, my goodness, go someplace where you're not going to have people, heroize, glamorize, valorize the rape and murder of your fellow Jews. Yeah, it's interesting, right? So when you think about cultural identity, because this is the kind of thing that happens a lot of times, and I want to talk about this because it's all right. I'm 22, right, and a lot of these protesters are college age, and I do want to say, right, there have been people saying that every single one of these people are anti-Semites, and I want to kind of address that in a sense. Right, so I don't think most of the people at Columbia who are chanting pro-Hamas slogans while they're holding their Stanley Cup, right, I don't think most of the people chanting those slogans have the foggiest idea what they're referring to.
Right.
They chant about the river, the sea, or the Jews, right? Many people my age have no meaningful understanding of this conflict. They're only mad because an Instagram infographic or a TikTok video told them that supporting Hamas was synonymous with being a good person, or that calling for divestment from Israel is an effective and serious way to virtue signal. They're wrong, right? Nothing can make them right, but there's an old saying, right? Don't attribute to malice what you can to stupidity. Yeah. We have to figure out the proportion of malice to stupidity. But then again, and I'm well aware, now we're having the argument about, is it malice or stupidity that is calling these shots at an Ivy League university?
Right.
Right.
Well, I think this is a bigger picture because I think the bigger picture is this is an indictment on the American education system, because there's only one way that you don't know about the Holocaust and about the horrors that the Jewish people have gone throughout history, is that you don't learn about them, which means they're not being taught. So this starts at a very elementary root level. This stuff isn't being taught, and therefore it's not being recognized. And then you have the absolute centrifuge of dumbassery that takes place on Ivy League campuses, and that's really what it is. I look at it as the miseducation of America.
This is true. If you want to ruin your morning, go look up polls about Holocaust denial among Americans who are under, I think, age 35.
Right.
And look at the percentages. It's really something. But anyway, I want to say, though, as a young person involved in politics, and I am one, right? I'm 22. There comes a point where you can either hide behind the excuse of being a young person or try and actually put in the work and put forth a serious argument. I think that's what a lot of these pro-Palestine protesters are going through right now. You can, as a person, right, you can hide behind the excuse of ignorance and youth, right? And if you've never studied the issue, I honestly wouldn't guilt you too much for that. That's a perfectly fine take to be like, I haven't studied the issue, we're going to put down. But you don't get to do that when you're marching through the streets with the Stanley Cup that we talked about and chanting, Hamas, make us proud. Right.
There you go.
At that point, you have become participatory in political discussion. And at that point, you've revealed something rather not amazing about yourself, which is, in the case of these Columbia protesters, at best, the legitimate anti-Semitic protesters, at best, they are uninformed bigots.
Yeah, there you go.
At worst, they are open.
Isaac, we appreciate
It's not a great spectrum. If these are your only options for what your political activism has turned you into, you have lost the plot.
Right. There you go. Isaac, we appreciate the time, my friend. We will look forward to having you back on the show soon.
All right. Thanks so much, Mark. Take care.
Lucky